To be truly inclusive, we need to understand why someone might be excluded in the first place. In other words, what are the actual differences that make up this idea of diversity? And how might individuals be biased in relation to any or a number of these differences? The 7 key social differences we should be aware of are age, gender, ethnicity, location, socio-economic status, ability, and sexuality. Let's take a closer look at them. Age refers to the number of years we have lived, which influences both the amount of experience we have and what those experiences are. Different generations are often stereotyped, such as millennials being entitled, for example. Gender relates to our sense of self when it comes to how we identify with masculine and feminine, or a mix of those characteristics. This gender identity may or may not align with the sex we are assigned at birth. Our gender identity can vary depending on beliefs, cultures, social factors, and some indigenous cultures do recognize gender differently. Ethnicity refers to characteristics that form part of our identity based on our cultural group we belong to. It's important to note that this is not the same as our nationality, which refers more to our citizenship or the country we belong to. Location is about where we are in the world and how living there has influenced us. For example, living in a rural community versus living in an urban environment, and how social factors from one location may affect how we behave in another location. Socio-economic status is similar to class, which is typically split up into 4 categories: upper, middle, working, and lower. Our socio-economic status is influenced by our education, income, occupation, and may or may not reflect the family and circumstances we were born into. Ability refers to how capable we are in certain tasks. Everyone's bodies and brains have different, unique abilities, and both have an effect on our worldview and our contribution. For example, a person using a wheelchair does not have the ability to run a marathon, but they could solve complex problems and lead a team. We have a tendency to see what people can't do as opposed to see what they can do. Sexuality relates to our sexual orientation and to whom we are attracted. This can influence our identity in terms of how we relate to others and how they relate to us. Now, you may have noticed some intersectionality as we talked through the 7 social differences. For example, our socio-economic status can change dependent on our location and access to work, and it might be impacted by our age. When we're focusing on why someone has been excluded, it's important we consider that there may be a number of factors as to why, and how this is contributing to bias. And when you can catch this bias and challenge it, you reinforce the importance of inclusion and open doors to its benefits, like workplace belonging, enhanced collaboration, diversity of thought, and greater innovation.